What is happening? What is being said? I'm so confused. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought that we could go ahead and get into what I wanted to talk about in this channel, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is how other people think that you owe them your time. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how people think that their time is the most important thing in your life over your own time. So recently, I had a situation happen to me, and how these videos are going to go is I'm going to explain a brief situation that has happened to me, but I'm going to mostly go into kind of why I think that happened, how it made me feel, and how moving forward I'm going to start handling things, reacting to things, etc. So without further ado, let's get into it. So most recently, and by most recently I mean on my birthday, I had a situation happen where it was my birthday weekend and then it was also my dad's birthday weekend. And I also had a friend's bachelorette party that I was supposed to attend. Now, to give you some context, this party was planned back a couple months ago. I was not in the wedding as a bridesmaid. I was only invited to come as a guest, which I was happy that she invited me. I thought it was super cool that she invited me. I wanted to be there. When she originally put out the times that it was supposed to happen, she put out multiple dates, and one of the weekends was my birthday weekend. Let me just put this out there that I was very communicative with her throughout the whole process. Even in the beginning, when she said, this is when we're going to have it, I said, okay, well, that's my birthday weekend, and it's also my dad's birthday weekend, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come, but maybe I'll be able to get some time off work. I don't know. Regardless, fast forward, I ended up finding out I had surgery. I was out of work for a month, so there was just no way that I was going to be able to get time off work. And I can't take time off work right now because I went a month basically without working because of my surgery. So, I communicated that with her and told her, there may be a chance that I may be able to come over the weekend, but I'm not sure because I also have birthday plans for myself. I have birthday plans with my family because it was also my dad's birthday the same weekend as mine, right? So I was communicating about this the whole time. It's not like I last minute was oh, whatever. So it got closer to the time, which was the week of the bachelorette trip, and I told her that I could not come, and I explained to her the reasons that I could not come, and I told her that I could not get work off. She knew that I had surgery, so she knew that I was out of work, and I told her I couldn't get work off, and I said that there was just not going to be any possible way that I could make it to the bachelorette trip in general because it was all the way in Tampa, and where I live, Tampa is pretty far from me. It's about 2.5 hours, sometimes 3, depending on traffic. And I just was not going to be able to drive 3.5 hours there to spend a day there to then drive 3.5 hours back just because of everything going on the weekend. I had a family party on that Sunday. The only time that I would have really been able to go is maybe potentially Saturday, but Saturday I'd also already planned, a get together with my friends because my birthday was on Monday, and I usually do stuff with my mom that day. Her and I always have a day to ourselves. So I really only had one day over the weekend where I could do anything with my friends for my birthday, and I was turning 30. So I'm turning 30 years old is a big deal to me. So I was I'm really sorry, I can't make it. I want to, express my gratitude and thanks for inviting me. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there. It makes me really upset that I couldn't be there because I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there for her. I was happy that she invited me. I thought it was nice that she invited me, and I explained to her everything that was going on and all of that. And throughout this whole process, when I was communicating with her, up all throughout all those months, and then, the week of, and when I told her I couldn't go, the whole time she's no, it's okay, totally just let me know, it's not a big deal if you can't come. I would love it if you could, maybe you can just make one day, but just keep me in the loop. And then even when I told her I couldn't come, she was no, it's okay, I totally get it. I kind of figured that maybe you wouldn't even be able to come because of your surgery and all that, I just really hope you can still come to the wedding. I was yeah, I can still come to the wedding, even if I have to drive up there by myself, I will be at your wedding. I want to be at your wedding. I'm going to be at your wedding. I can't make the bachelorette trip work because 1, I can't get off work. 2, I didn't have time to even get over there. And 3, even if all that wasn't even in connection, I didn't really have money that I could shell out for an Airbnb because I just, spent a month not working. So she had told me that was fine and all that. We talked about it. I explained it to her. I sent her a long voice message, letting her know, kind of explaining to her what was going on because I didn't want her to just be oh, she's just ditching me because she doesn't want to come. And that just wasn't the thing. It wasn't the thing at all. So I explained to her all that. And then I woke up to a text on Monday morning, on my birthday, by the way, which, let me preface this, this girl and I have been friends for years. She knows when my birthday is. Like, she knows all of that. I wouldn't say that we were best friends forever and for, you know, like, best friends, hung out every day, whatever. Like, she lived in a different state. I lived here. But I would consider her, like, a good friend, you know? Like, we were decent friends. And we would check in with each other, yada, yada, yada. So anyways, she sends me a text on my birthday at, like, 5 in the morning. Basically saying that she thinks it's absolutely ridiculous that I miss her bachelorette party. She said that, you know, quite frankly, that she's been super understanding with me, and the fact that I posted all of this content on social media about my time out with my friends was super disrespectful, and that, you know, quite frankly, I'll have more birthdays, but she won't have more weddings. And she thought it was, like, super disrespectful that, you know, she bestowed this honor on me of inviting me and then I just didn't go. And she was like, you know, I've been very patient with you and I've made a lot of excuses for you, but, like, you know, this is just unacceptable that, like, you won't be there, and I'm just not going to be friends with you anymore. I'm blocking you, and so is my, you know, fiance. You're not invited to our wedding any longer, and I do not want to be friends with you, and I hope that you can make better decisions in the future. Wish you all the best. And I just was like, what the actual heck are you even saying? I mean, obviously it made me upset. You know, I don't like waking up to that type of text, and it was really mean. Like, I'm not going to read it, like, verbatim of what she said, but you get the gist. Like, it was a really, really mean text. It was also really, really mean to send that to me on my birthday, to start my birthday out like that, right? Like, and she knew too. Like, that was another thing. It's not even one of those things where she didn't know. She knew it was my birthday, and she, like, intentionally, it felt like it was more intentional that it was sent on that time. So, you know, obviously I got that text. You know, I was really upset. I cried, obviously, because I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I just am so confused because there was no communication about, like, being upset in the first place. So why are we now all of a sudden upset? Like, I don't know if some of your friends got you worked up. I have no idea. So that was the situation. Now I want to move on to, you know, how I processed it and, like, how I feel about it and my opinions on it, because I'm obviously just a person who has opinions and feelings on things. You guys may not agree with my opinions and feelings, and that's fine, but I do think that where I'm coming from is a pretty good standpoint. So number one, like, I would never want to have a friend in my life who is just going to dismiss me and not even have, like, an adult conversation with me if they're upset about something. I completely understand if she was upset about me not going. Like, I get that. I completely understand if she was upset. Now, to throw away a whole friendship because I didn't come at the drop of a hat because I couldn't, and telling me that, you know, frankly, you'll have more birthdays, but I won't have more weddings, is absolutely insane. Especially considering that, like, it was also my dad's birthday over the weekend, and I also had a family party. Like, it's not like I was just, like, partying up with my friends all weekend. Like, I had a lot of stuff going on. So the fact that she was like, yeah, like, you'll have more birthdays, it's not a big deal. Like, whatever you have going on in your life is not a big deal. Like, you needed to press pause because, like, it's all about me right now, and, like, I don't care what you have going on, is crazy to me. I think that people have this very selfish view, and I have thought this for a long time. Like, I think people are very, very, very selfish, and I'm not perfect. Like, I've definitely had moments of being selfish, and I'm, you know, definitely have worked on it, and I am actively working on it. And this situation definitely opened my eyes up to times when I've also been kind of sad when friends haven't showed up to things, and now realizing that, like, maybe I do need to be a little bit more understanding because people have a lot of things going on. There are a lot of things out of their control, and it's not always because they don't want to come, because that's not where I was coming from. Like, if I had a million more hours in the day and I had more time, I would have been there, but I just didn't. And I'm sorry, but, like, coming from someone, and I know you may not know me very well, but I always put everyone before me. Like, I always put my needs on the back burner. All of my friends always come before me. Like, there have been times where I have skipped many things for myself to be there for my friends. So to have someone say that, like, I was being selfish and, like, it was crazy that I was, like, choosing myself was, like, so insane, because this is, like, the one time I've ever chosen myself in anything ever. And, like, I've been telling myself that I needed to get better about prioritizing me and, like, not being able to do every single thing if it's not going to be able to work. And this is, like, the one time that I chose myself, and then I lost a friend over it. But at the end of the day, like, that was never my friend. She was never, ever, ever my friend. Because if you were a real friend, like, you would take a beat. You would say, hey, I'm upset about this. I would like to talk to you about it. And then you would talk to me about it, like, maturely. You wouldn't send me an immature text at 5:30 a.m. after you've been partying all weekend and then telling me that, like, I need to go like basically seek help because I decided to go celebrate my 30th birthday with my friends and post a couple TikToks about it. Like, are you kidding me? That is the craziest thing I've ever heard, and it still is so crazy to me. Like, just thinking about it, like, I'm getting like more like hyped up about it because I'm just like, I would never do that to someone. I just wouldn't. Like, I would maturely express how I'm feeling. I would have a conversation with that person, but I would never end a friendship over them not being able to come to something, especially when I've had a really rough couple fucking months. Like, I have. Like, I just went through surgery. I'm still going through that recovery. Like, you know, I just was able to get back to work. Like, I'm trying to like recoup my financials and everything, and like, I don't think people understand how much surgery really affects you and affects your whole life. Not to mention the fact that like, it's my birthday weekend. I'm sorry, but I literally do not need an excuse to want to go celebrate that. And it's my 30th birthday. I will not have another 30th birthday. And no day was promised after the other days. So I literally do not feel bad for choosing myself. I really don't. Because there's nothing wrong with choosing yourself. And anyone that tells you that's wrong is just lying to you. You do not have to feel bad for choosing yourself. You can still be a good friend and still choose yourself in moments. That does not make me a bad friend. It does not make me a bad person. It does not mean that I'm making bad decisions. It just means that I'm a normal human and I'm deciding, hey, I have a lot going on this weekend and I think I need to, you know, kind of figure out what I'm doing, and I have to realize that maybe I can't do something because this is also falling on an important weekend for me. Just because I'm not getting married doesn't mean that my weekend isn't also important. And I do not know why people are so self-centered, but it is so sad. Like, it is so sad. But I will say this situation has definitely taught me that sometimes I need to take a beat, I need to take a break, and I need to understand that just because someone's canceling on something doesn't mean that it's something personal against me. They could very well have a million other things going on and not want to talk to me about it. And that's fine. Doesn't mean that they're a bad friend. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Doesn't mean that they need to go seek help. It's just none of that. Also, I wanted to say that the fact, so this part makes me laugh because I'm like, I don't even understand like why this is even mentioned, but specifically in the text, it was mentioned that you chose to go to a dubstep show with your friends and post about it. Okay, what? I'm sorry, but they were also at a dubstep show because they also went to a one-day festival that weekend. So why is what I'm doing on my birthday being scrutinized by you? And why is what I'm posting matters? I literally posted one TikTok and one reel the next day and like 2 stories. And if you know me, that's like nothing. That's literally like posting nothing because I told myself I wanted to be more present and I wanted to be, you know, because it was my 30th birthday. It's a big deal. I don't care if she doesn't think it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and that's all that matters. Because I truly could care less if people think it's a big deal because they're not going to think it's a big deal because it's not happening to them. Most people do not think something is a big deal unless it's happening to them, right? And that can also be said too, like, you know, I could flip that around and be like, oh, well, I don't think it's a big deal that I missed her, you know, bachelorette party because it's not happening to me. But I put myself in her shoes and I was like, you know, I can understand why she's upset. I can sit here and understand that. I was even open for like a conversation about her being upset, but there was no conversation. It was just like, let me be really rude to you. Let me make you feel really bad about yourself, especially on your birthday. And then I'm going to announce that, you know, we're just not going to be friends anymore. Which, by the way, if you don't want to be friends with me, you don't have to announce it. Just stop being friends with me. That's fine. Whatever. At this point, I really don't care. And then the fact of the announcement of, oh, I'm going to unfollow you. Like, okay, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, followers are cool now, but that doesn't mean anything to me, you know? Like, I'm grateful for, like, where I'm at on social media and stuff, but, like, if you want to unfollow me on social media, okay. My account's literally public, so you can still go see my stuff if you unfollow me. So, like, oh no, I'm losing 2 followers. What am I ever going to do? Like, I don't know. It's just, like, very interesting, the certain things that were mentioned in the text that, like, seemed like she was, like, trying to stick it to me. And I was just, like, confused on what you're sticking to me here. Like, after I got over the initial response of being upset and, like, really reading it, I was literally just, like, what is happening? What is being said? I'm so confused. I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like why what I was posting was mentioned in it, because I don't see how that has anything to do with like her being upset as to why I left. Like she basically said that like what I posted was disrespectful. Girl, what the hell are you talking about? Seriously, what are you talking about? It was crazy. Seriously, so crazy. But like I said, let's get back to what I learned. What I learned is to give people more grace when it comes to things, to understand that just because someone tells you, oh, this is why I'm not going, like there could be a million other more reasons as to why they can't go, or there may be things going on in their life that you don't know about. And that's okay, because sometimes you don't know every part of someone, even though you want to. And that's okay, because maybe they don't want to share that with you, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. So I've learned to have more grace when it comes to friendships and people canceling, because I too am also a busy person and I have things happen, and sometimes I just do not have the mental capacity to make it to things, or I don't have the physical time to make it to things. And that's okay. That doesn't mean they're a bad friend. That doesn't mean that they hate you. It's just not working out, and that's okay. You don't need to end a friendship over that. Number two, if someone ends a friendship over something like that, something like this situation, they were never your friend in the first place. Again, like I said before, a real friend would sit down with you, would have a conversation with you, would explain that they were upset, and that's fine, rightfully so. Like I said, I understand that. And would, move forward from there. They wouldn't just be huffing and puffing and throwing a tantrum, a big girl tantrum, because we're all adults now, about that. Like, that is so crazy. And I am very tired of people kind of like huffing and puffing, in my life, and like just doing that and then like removing themselves. It's like at that point, like you don't even need to do all that. Just go out the door. Don't talk to me. Whatever. Like seriously, I don't know. I'm getting way too old for the drama, way too old for the people being mean and selfish and conniving and like breaking up things that don't even matter when you're upset about something. Like, in my mind, saying I'm upset you didn't come, okay, but being like, you posting this and you doing this and I've been patient with you, and but girl, like it's crazy to me when a friendship ends, because I almost feel like I realized that those people were never my friends in the first place, and they maybe low-key hated me the whole time. Or maybe hate's a strong word. I definitely feel like there have been friendships that have ended, but I'm like, oh yeah, they definitely hated me. I wouldn't say this girl hated me, but I wouldn't say that I was really a friend either. Which is also weird, because it's like, why would you invite me to your wedding and to all these things if I wasn't a friend to you? Regardless, I have no idea. But I do think this is really crazy. And I had to share, because like I said, I just want to share my experiences, because it, one, makes me feel better to talk about it. Two, it may be able to help someone in the future. Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to people, I think that we need to be way less selfish. And I think we need to be a little bit more understanding. I think we need to communicate a little bit better. And I think we need to realize that, like, throwing a big temper tantrum should be left in high school, because we're not in high school anymore. And we need to learn different ways to communicate and better ways to communicate. And if you don't want to be friends with someone, you don't have to make an excuse. Just don't be friends with them. Like, that's fine. Because I don't want people like that in my life. I don't want fake friendships. I want real, authentic friendships that are going to last with me till the end of time. I need quality over quantity every single time.